Guys, I'm going to give you this word that the Lord gave to me, and I wrote it down. I was about to go to sleep, and he says, demons are walking in dry places, seeking a place of rest. They're finding rest in the churches. They're finding rest among the children of God because they are garnished only on the outside, but they are not filled with God's Spirit. This is coming from the parable that Jesus gave in Matthew chapter 12, 43 through 45. And the words Jesus says, Matthew chapter 12, 43 to 45, when an unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest, and findeth none. Then he saith, I will return into my house from whence I came out. And when he is come, he findeth it swept, empty, and garnished. Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 more spirits more wicked than himself, and they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first. Even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation. My brothers and sisters, if we are not careful, and if we are not walking in Christ, you'll find yourself falling back into the sins that you were delivered from. You'll find yourself falling into those things or still in those things that you should not still be walking in as a believer of Christ. And this is because you appear to be swept and garnished on the outside, but you are not. And so when those evil spirits, those things that you used to do, they return, they find that you are just posing. They find that you are actually empty on the inside. You claim you have a sign on the outside that is actually saying room for rent, vacant. And so that spirit will return. In addition, as I said, the Lord showed me that demonic spirits are finding rest and solace in the house of God, in the place that should be a house of God, because his spirit is not there. It is a hall of entertainment in many cases, and a place that's filled with the children of disobedience, that they're going there to feel better, to give their sacrifice and to give their offerings to a God that is not God at all, but rather something to stroke their ego, something that makes them feel better, a God that gives them a feeling of entitlement, because after all, we are giving our tithes and our offerings, and we have gotten out of bed and come here today. God is not pleased. Satan is going around like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. And whether you're in a church building or you're right there at home, if you are not serving the Lord in spirit and in truth, if you do not have yourself filled with the Spirit of God, by being in his presence, by being in his word, and more than anything, obeying him, my brothers and sisters, you're going to find yourself doing what you were doing when you were saved. The only thing is you got an extra title. You will find yourself doing the things that you used to do before you were saved. The only difference is, guys, you have an extra title called I'm saved, I'm a Christian, when in fact you're not. You must understand that there's a lot of people who think that they're saved and they're not. You're not saved if you cannot follow the Lord's words. You're not saved if you're not following him. If you are not desiring to obey him, if you don't desire what he desires, and if you don't hate what he hates, my brothers and sisters, you're in great error. Don't let anyone tell you that you can be like this world and still enter in. John chapter 17, Jesus' last prayer, says just the opposite of that. Let us worship the Lord in spirit and in truth. let us serve him in spirit and in truth. This is all I have today, my brothers and sisters. Be blessed and enjoy your weekend.